The ancient astronaut hypothesis challenges the conventional narrative of human history by proposing that extraterrestrial beings visited Earth in the distant past and played a critical role in shaping early civilizations. This theory, although controversial and often dismissed by mainstream academics, has captivated millions with its daring questions and provocative interpretations. Its roots can be traced to the 19th century, but it gained international attention with the 1968 publication of Chariots of the Gods by Swiss author Erich von Däniken. Von Däniken argued that ancient structures, myths, and technologies could not have originated from primitive humans alone. Instead, he claimed, the gods described in ancient religious texts and legends might have been highly advanced visitors from other planets. This idea didn't emerge in a vacuum. Throughout history, civilizations around the world have told stories of beings who descended from the heavens, beings who flew in chariots of fire, rode thunderous clouds, or emerged from stars. The hypothesis suggests that these deities were not fictional, but were misunderstood extraterrestrials with superior knowledge and technology. These visitors may have influenced human biology, sparked sudden technological progress, or even established the foundations for religion and governance. The theory poses challenging questions. Could alien knowledge have sparked agriculture in the Fertile Crescent? Did they teach ancient peoples mathematics, astronomy, and architecture? While traditional scholars argue that human ingenuity, trial and error, and environmental adaptation explain the rise of civilizations, proponents of ancient astronaut theory point to what they see as gaps or sudden leaps in knowledge. For example, the sudden appearance of advanced cities like Uruk or complex calendars in Mesoamerica seemed to some too sophisticated for their time without external help. Whether these claims hold scientific merit or not, they have undeniably opened up discussions about how we view our past, and whether human civilization might be far older and more complex than we've ever imagined. When exploring the possibility of ancient extraterrestrial contact, researchers often turn to prehistoric art, the earliest expressions of human creativity and consciousness etched into the rock walls of caves and cliffs tens of thousands of years ago. Among the most compelling of these are the Tassili Nadjer petroglyphs in Algeria, which date back over 10,000 years. These carvings and paintings feature bizarre humanoid shapes, some appearing to wear large helmets or full-body suits, bearing uncanny resemblance to modern representations of astronauts. In Val Camonica, Italy, similar figures have been discovered, again showing beings with oversized heads and what seem like tools or objects that emit rays or energy. These carvings are often dismissed by traditional archaeologists as representations of gods, spirits, or humans wearing ritualistic masks during shamanic ceremonies. However, ancient alien theorists see something more profound: a shared visual language of contact, preserved in stone. These beings are frequently depicted as larger than life, descending from the sky or surrounded by strange symbols that don't match the flora, fauna, or tools known to exist at the time. The geographic spread of these depictions, from Africa to Europe, Asia to the Americas, suggests a global phenomenon, not isolated cultural myths. Some of the most enigmatic elements are found in rock formations and structures whose age and purpose defy explanation. In Siberia, megalithic blocks weighing several hundred tons appear to have been cut and transported with technology far beyond the known capabilities of prehistoric societies. In Bolivia's Pumapunku, precisely carved stone blocks with interlocking joints lie scattered as if by an explosion. These stones are so precisely shaped that even modern machines would struggle to replicate them without advanced planning and laser-guided precision. Proponents argue that such achievements hint at the intervention of a technologically superior culture or species. Furthermore, unusual global artifacts, often categorized as ooparts, out-of-place artifacts, have been unearthed in ancient geological layers, including metallic spheres, apparent mechanical tools, and even fossilized imprints resembling machinery, which some believe suggest a presence far older than recorded history. Whether misidentified natural phenomena or proof of something much older and more intelligent, these discoveries continue to stir debate among historians, scientists, and believers. The deeper one dives into prehistoric mysteries, the harder it becomes to dismiss the possibility that early humans may have had contact with beings not of this earth. Or at the very least, something happened in humanity's early days that we still don't fully understand. No discussion of ancient alien theory is complete without examining Sumerian civilization, often regarded as the birthplace of advanced human society. Emerging over 6,000 years ago in Mesopotamia, modern-day Iraq, the Sumerians developed a remarkably sophisticated culture. They created the world's first known writing system, cuneiform, established legal codes, built monumental architecture, like ziggurats, and made astonishing advances in astronomy, mathematics, and metallurgy. What has long puzzled researchers is how such a complex society seemed to appear almost overnight, with no gradual developmental path from simpler cultures. In the cuneiform tablets left behind by the Sumerians, there are recurring mentions of powerful beings called the Anunnaki, described as descending from the heavens. The word Anunnaki translates roughly to those who came from the sky, and these beings were said to have created humanity as laborers to serve them. The Epic of Atrahasis, Enuma Elish, and other ancient texts tell stories of sky gods, who intervened in earthly affairs, provided advanced knowledge, and even punished humankind with floods and plagues. According to ancient astronaut theorists like Zecharia Sitchin, these tales are not mere mythology, but actual records of extraterrestrial interactions. Sitchin proposed that the Anunnaki were beings from a distant planet called Nibiru, whose elliptical orbit brought them close to Earth every several thousand years. He claimed they genetically modified early hominids to create modern humans by blending their DNA with Earth's primitive life forms, thereby accelerating evolution. Mainstream scholars view these interpretations as speculative at best, but many aspects of Sumerian knowledge continue to fuel mystery. For example, their understanding of the solar system includes all planets, some not visible without telescopes. Their architectural feats align with celestial movements, and their mythology consistently centers around beings from the stars. Whether metaphorical or literal, these stories challenge our understanding of early civilization and suggest that the Sumerians may have been recounting something far more significant than mere folklore. Ancient Egypt, one of the most iconic civilizations in human history, is renowned for its monumental architecture, sophisticated spiritual beliefs, and mysterious technological prowess. At the center of this enigma stands the Great Pyramid of Giza, a structure so precise and massive that modern engineers still struggle to explain how it was constructed with the limited tools supposedly available at the time. The pyramid's base is aligned almost perfectly with the cardinal points of the compass, and its dimensions encode complex mathematical and astronomical constants, such as pi and the golden ratio. Knowledge presumed to be beyond the reach of Bronze Age humanity, ancient astronaut theorists suggest that such precision could not have been achieved without guidance from advanced beings. They argue that the Egyptians may have either received help directly from extraterrestrials or inherited knowledge passed down from a forgotten, more advanced race, possibly connected to earlier alien visitors. Supporting this idea are controversial artifacts like the so-called helicopter hieroglyphs at the Temple of Seti I in Abydos. These carvings appear to show objects resembling modern aircraft, tanks, and submarines. While mainstream scholars attribute this to overlapping inscriptions, due to erosion or recarving, believers see them as literal depictions of flying machines used by sky gods. Additionally, the Egyptians' profound reverence for the stars, particularly Orion and Sirius, raises questions about their obsession with the cosmos. The layout of the Giza pyramids mirrors the constellation of Orion's belt, and Sirius was central to their calendar system and mythology, often associated with rebirth and divine presence. The myth of Osiris, a sky god who returned from the heavens, further deepens the idea of celestial beings guiding humanity. Combined with their sudden leap in architectural, agricultural, and mathematical capabilities, Egypt's golden age continues to serve as a focal point for those who believe that ancient people were not working alone. From precision-cut granite to legends of sky deities descending in beams of light, Egypt's enduring mysteries continue to challenge our assumptions. Were the ancient Egyptians simply brilliant architects and astronomers, or were they acting under the influence, or direct instruction, of beings not from this earth? Thousands of years ago, long before the rise of Greece or Rome, the Indian subcontinent birthed one of the most spiritually and intellectually rich cultures in human history. The Vedic civilization, whose texts, the Vedas, Mahabharata, and Ramayana, are some of the oldest sacred scriptures on earth, contains descriptions that have long puzzled scholars and fueled the imagination of ancient astronaut theorists. These texts mention vimanas, flying chariots or palaces that soared through the skies, often described with incredible technical detail. The Mahabharata, for instance, refers to vimanas as machines that could fly in all directions, emit fire, and sound like thunder, and even engage in aerial warfare. Descriptions go far beyond mythological metaphor. Some texts detail the materials used to build vimanas, the type of propulsion systems involved, mentioning mercury and centrifugal force, and even what appear to be advanced weapons akin to modern missiles or lasers. In the Samarangana Sutradhara, an ancient Sanskrit treatise on architecture and technology, entire sections are dedicated to the construction and operation of these flying crafts. These accounts raise an astonishing question. Were the ancient sages describing imaginative legends, or were they preserving knowledge of technologies inherited from or inspired by extraterrestrial beings? The war scenes in the Mahabharata further push this theory. References to weapons that caused explosions brighter than 1,000 suns, and descriptions of devastated cities with hair and nails falling out eerily parallel the effects of nuclear fallout. Ancient astronaut theorists point to these similarities and suggest that ancient India was not only visited by advanced beings, but may have witnessed interstellar conflict, or been given dangerous technology from other worlds. While mainstream historians interpret these texts as allegory, morality tales, or poetic exaggeration, the consistency and specificity in these ancient writings keep the alien hypothesis alive in the minds of many researchers and believers. Across the ocean in South America, high on the arid plateaus of southern Peru, lies one of the world's most puzzling archaeological mysteries, the Nazca lines. These enormous geoglyphs, created by removing the reddish pebbles of the desert surface to reveal the lighter earth beneath, form massive shapes of animals, plants, geometric patterns, and humanoid figures. Stretching over hundreds of square kilometers, some of these figures span nearly 1,200 feet. The mystery lies not just in their creation, but in their visibility. They can only be fully appreciated from the sky. In a pre-aircraft civilization, why would anyone create artwork that only makes sense when viewed from above? Ancient alien theorists believe that the Nazca lines were created either for or by extraterrestrial visitors, perhaps as landing strips, ritualistic messages, or celestial maps. The lines' precise angles and massive scale hint at surveying tools or aerial guidance systems far beyond what the Nazca people were thought to possess. Skeptics argue the lines were religious or cultural offerings to sky gods. But that explanation, in itself, raises questions. Who were these gods that could only see the offerings from the sky? Why such precision, such enormous scale? The mystery deepens when exploring other South American megalithic sites, such as Tiwanaku and Pumapunku in Bolivia. These ancient cities feature enormous stone blocks, some weighing over 100 tons, that were cut with laser-like accuracy and fit together without mortar, resisting earthquakes even today. Some blocks have intricate grooves, drill holes, and smooth surfaces that experts argue would require tools not available to ancient peoples. According to legend, these cities were built by the gods in a single night. Ancient astronaut theorists suggest these sites could have been alien construction projects or technological transfer points, and the mythological accounts are misremembered records of real otherworldly events. These wonders, whether interpreted as symbols of faith, genius architecture, or signs of extraterrestrial contact, remain unsolved puzzles. Their presence challenges traditional archaeology and inspires an even greater question. Did visitors from the stars once walk among the peoples of the Americas, leaving behind signs in stone for us to one day decode? One of the most compelling arguments put forth by ancient astronaut theorists is the striking similarity in symbolism, mythology, and iconography found across ancient civilizations that, according to mainstream history, had no known contact with each other. From the Mayans and the Egyptians to the Sumerians, Dogon, and Aboriginal Australians, certain images repeat with uncanny consistency. Winged beings, disc-shaped objects, serpent gods, pine cones, and tools resembling wands or staffs. These recurring motifs, often associated with sky gods or divine beings descending from the heavens, suggest a shared memory or shared influence. For instance, the winged disc found in Mesopotamian, Egyptian, and even South American cultures is interpreted by some as a symbol of flight or celestial transportation. The pine cone, held in the hand of gods like Assyrian Apkallu or carved prominently in ancient temples, is thought to represent the pineal gland, also called the third eye, a symbol of advanced consciousness. But how did such different civilizations separated by oceans and millennia develop such similar spiritual symbology? Even more intriguing is the overlapping character archetypes: the Sumerian Enki, the Egyptian Thoth, the Mesoamerican Quetzalcoatl, and the Indian Shiva, all gods associated with wisdom, technology, language, and transformation. Each is described as having arrived from elsewhere, teaching mankind and then departing, promising to return. Ancient alien theorists suggest these stories may not be independent inventions, but rather regional retellings of the same extraterrestrial visitors, remembered differently across time and geography. Additionally, many flood myths, including the biblical tale of Noah, the Sumerian epic of Gilgamesh, and the Aztec story of Coxcox, speak of global cataclysms triggered by divine beings from the sky, sometimes using advanced tools or weapons. These stories may be more than metaphors for environmental disasters. They may encode cosmic interventions, where extraterrestrials wiped out civilizations they deemed corrupt or out of control. These cross-cultural consistencies hint at a much broader and interconnected origin story for humanity, one that may have involved visitors far beyond this world. The theory of lost civilizations, like Atlantis, Lemuria, or Mu, has long fascinated historians, mystics, and seekers of forbidden knowledge. These legendary societies are often described as utopian realms with advanced technology, profound spiritual knowledge, and mysterious origins. According to Plato, Atlantis was a powerful naval empire that sank into the sea in a single day and night of misfortune. While mainstream scholars regard such tales as allegorical or entirely mythological, ancient astronaut theorists see a different possibility: that these were not mythical civilizations, but real, ancient cultures that were influenced or created by extraterrestrial visitors and eventually destroyed by either natural cataclysm or deliberate cosmic intervention. Some believe that these civilizations reached technological heights rivaling or surpassing our own, harnessing energies such as anti-gravity, free energy, or sound-based construction methods. Structures like the Great Pyramid, Göbekli Tepe, and Yonaguni Monument are sometimes interpreted as surviving remnants or echoes of these lost societies. These ancient peoples may have been the intermediaries between gods and humans, preserving alien knowledge for future generations, or abusing it, leading to their downfall. This aligns with a recurring theme across cultures: the gods giveth, and the gods taketh away. The idea of cyclical destruction and rebirth is found in Hindu cosmology, Hopi prophecy, and Mayan calendar systems. These cultures speak of previous ages or suns that ended in fire, water, or other great disasters. Proponents of ancient alien theory suggest that these cycles could be tied to periodic returns of alien overseers who intervene at turning points in human evolution, either to reset the planet or to test humanity's progress. This cyclical view of time offers a different framework for interpreting history. Instead of a linear progression from primitive to modern, it proposes waves of rise and fall, often influenced by beings who are not native to Earth. These beings, whether as caretakers, judges, or scientists, might have seen Earth as a kind of cosmic experiment, guiding or resetting humanity when necessary. In this light, the story of Atlantis and similar lost civilizations becomes more than legend. It becomes part of a hidden historical pattern, one in which alien intervention may have shaped the very fate of our species. In recent decades, archaeological and scientific discoveries have reignited interest in ancient astronaut theories. Chief among these is Göbekli Tepe, an archaeological site in modern-day Turkey, dated to around 9600 BCE. Predating Stonehenge by thousands of years, Göbekli Tepe challenges our understanding of when complex society began. The site contains massive T-shaped pillars, expertly carved and arranged in circular formations, suggesting that advanced symbolic and architectural knowledge existed long before the invention of agriculture or writing. Who built it? And how did they possess such advanced understanding so early? Even more perplexing are the so-called out-of-place artifacts, parts, technological anomalies buried within the historical record. These include objects like the Antikythera mechanism, an ancient Greek device with complex gear systems, comparable to 18th-century clocks, and metallic spheres discovered in South African mines dated to 2.8 billion years ago. Some have even claimed advanced metallurgy in prehistoric sites, such as aluminum objects from ancient China. Although these claims remain controversial, could these artifacts point to forgotten civilizations or external influences? Genetic evidence also raises questions. In recent years, DNA anomalies and elongated skulls discovered in Peru and other parts of the world have shown mitochondrial markers that deviate from known human lineages. While many such cases can be explained by cultural skull modification or natural variation, a few remain genetically ambiguous. Could these be remnants of unknown hominins, or perhaps visitors from elsewhere? The debate over ancient aliens rests at the crossroads of mainstream science and speculative history. Skeptics argue that myths are myths, misinterpretations of natural phenomena, or expressions of early humanity's search for meaning. They warn that attributing ancient achievements to aliens undermines human ingenuity. But others argue for open-minded inquiry. Not everything has been explained. Across cultures and continents, legends of sky gods, fiery chariots, and advanced beings abound. Could these ancient accounts reflect real events, distorted over millennia? Today, with the Pentagon's acknowledgement of UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena, and mainstream media taking the extraterrestrial question more seriously, one must ask, are we being slowly prepared for a broader truth? Perhaps the ancients didn't imagine these things after all. Maybe they were recording encounters the best way they knew how.